it does not live up to Mustang Performance Edition GT name.
Yeah.
It's completely unacceptable for a Mustang GT to thermal throttle like this. What's up, guys? It's Brandon and Kalie. Today we're with a Mach-E GT Performance Edition. This one has the same horsepower but a little bit more torque, has larger wheels, and it has MagneRide. So in theory it should ride better, in theory it should handle better. This also has summer tires instead of all-season tires. So let's go for a drive on Angeles Crest Highway and see how it does. Kalie was pretty let down. I was pretty let down by the non-performance, so I'm not super hopeful, but one way to find out. And you're joining us now in the Mach-E GT Performance Edition. Just want to make sure I don't scrape the front end there going over that bump. And let's see what drive mode we're in as we come to this light. So we're in whisper mode, which is the kind of eco, or as Ford described it, seamless drive, calm and quiet. Engage is balanced drive, fun and engaging, and unbridled is exhilarating drive, machine, and road align as one. So we'll start in whisper, see how it does. And again, in the Performance Edition, it has a MagneRide suspension, so it actually adjusts the suspension damping depending on which of those drive modes you're in. Gas prices here are nuts. $5.45 for premium, or $5.49 credit for premium. There's a reason there are so many hybrids, electrics, smaller cars here, but also a surprising amount of large, inefficient vehicles here. Got a Model Y behind us. We have a Prius in front of us. Those are the California cars. Seats are similar to the Mach-E GT, but they add this bit of a shoulder bolster of sorts,
which I've decided I don't like because they dig into my arms. But like, the thing that I don't like about them is that if you're not the specific size that like fits in them, they're just incredibly uncomfortable. So for like you that like it's kind of like size to fit for, they're great, I'm sure. But if you're anyone that's not within those parameters, they're kind of just a nuisance.
I like them, and I think I'll really like them for performance driving, but I don't think I would want them on a road trip.
Yeah, I don't think they're for everyone.
No. Which is kind of an interesting choice for them to make on an electric crossover that's also a Mustang GT. Because most of the time this is just going to be driven around town for everyday tasks, rather than like on a racetrack where you need
even if these
supreme
were like
bolstering.
Something that like you could like kind of put
like
back,
have them adjustable or something,
and then like flip up if you wanted to do some more like performance driving and wanted a little bit more of support.
Yeah, I like to think that some of these will be doing performance driving, but the reality is very few of them won't be, or very few of them will be used for performance driving. And we're at 37% state of charge, so we will have a little bit less power than if we were fully charged. And we're just kind of getting out of the Pasadena area here. This again does have Blue Cruise, which is Ford's hands-off driver assistance system. I did test that out on the non-performance edition, so if you want to check that out, you can see how that works pretty well. But that's only on pre-mapped routes. I don't believe the route we're going on right now will be one that will be, but we'll find out in just a minute here.
This feels so cheap compared to the car we were just in, because it is, but like, it's just
the car we were just in was the Audi RS e-tron GT.
And it was so comfortable. I was so happy. And it's like not fair to this car because like it was like obnoxiously comfortable.
Acceleration is quite good. Sorry, I had to dive.
the wrong way.
I'm going the wrong way still. Oops. Acceleration is quite good even in whisper mode. Blue cruise on.
This lane is ending.
Well, let's see how blue cruise handles it.
It handles. It just did an error sound. It's not.
It seemed fine.
It figured. Well, I don't know.
Oh no, that's not. Oh, now it's back on blue cruise.
Yeah, it was not in blue cruise. Like I think you just happened to go the right way, like based off of like wind and
the lane
like,
marks. Yeah.
Because it did like the sound like it was disabling.
All right, so we'll go here, flip around, go back to the actual route. Road noise again, pretty loud, like not great.
Yeah.
Not terrible. There are certainly louder cars, but it's not 70K car quiet in my opinion. It might be a Ford, but at $70,000, it's competing with the Germans, really.
Well, I mean, if you get like the cheapest Taycan, it's what, 74, 9, something like that. I forget.
I think it's like 79.
Yeah,
but realistically, you're like 90-ish. So yeah, Taycan is not, a very base Taycan is not that much more than this.
Yeah.
And
if I was gonna buy a $70,000 car, if I really didn't have the money to just afford a Taycan at that point, I just would not be buying. I would not be buying this.
No. Yeah, that's a point I never really put together. Obviously, those are very different cars.
Yeah.
But if you're buying a car with performance in mind, or at least some level of performance in mind, go with the rear-wheel drive Taycan.
Yeah. And if you don't want performance, but you still like the Mustang Mach-E, just go with a more basic, like, Mach-E.
Yeah, just go with the, like, 4 extended, or the long-range all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Whatever they call that. Or even an ID4, really.
Yeah.
If you're just looking for more basic transportation.
Well, I think some people really like the look of these, and I totally get that. But like, if you're spending for the performance on this, there are better performing cars.
Yes.
For similar prices.
And before you guys go in the comments and say the Taycan is slow, who cares? Like, 0 to 60 is the worst metric for comparing performance of vehicles. It's really only good for exactly that, 0 to 60.
Yeah, if you can.
It's not telling you anything else.
Well, like, it's like, if you can go to 0 to 60 fast, that's fine. But like, if it can't handle in a corner, it doesn't fucking matter. Like,
it's a muscle car at that point.
I don't care how fast I get up to 60. I want it to feel comfortable and handle well when I want to like press it in different ways.
So I just noticed over those undulations here, kind of with pavement expansions and such, this car is bouncy on the whisper mode. It is like concerningly like broken suspension bouncy.
There's nothing here that, like, you can't play with the suspension at all.
So you can only do it through the drive menus. You can't do it individually. Or through the drive settings.
Oh.
So let's put it on engage, see how that feels. So that should turn it up a little bit. Yeah, I noticed it over a speed bump. I noticed it on those undulations. It's straight up bouncy.
Yeah.
This feels better so far, but I haven't really had any bumps.
Well, like, the biggest thing I hear when people are talking about the Mach-E and the people that end up buying them is it seems like it's more about the look. And like, if that's not you, I'm not saying it's everyone, but like a lot of the people that I've physically talked to that own them, they mainly bought them because they really liked the look.
Yeah.
So it's like, and most of the people, truthfully, that I've seen buy them, like, don't need the performance. And I just think for what it is, like, it's just not worth it.
Okay, so I just hit a bump there, and it was kind of harsh, actually. I don't know if you noticed that. It went from like kind of bouncy to kind of harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a comfortable drive.
Yeah, now now we're on more bumps, and it went from bouncy bumpy to bumpy harsh. There's not much in between there.
I just would expect a little bit more out of this.
And again, like I mentioned in the non-performance edition review, I think a lot of that comes down to the heritage.
Yeah, and the price for this one.
Yeah. The combination
like
of
even
price,
heritage aside, for this price, I would expect a little bit more comfort.
Yeah. It is just a beautiful evening here in Southern California.
Yeah.
The haze, I mean, not ideal to have the haze because that's from pollution, but it's beautiful with the sun setting. It's upsetting over bumps.
Yeah. Like, I don't expect it to be as comfortable as the Audi e-tron, RS
e-tron GT.
Yeah. That we were just in to be. Like, I wouldn't expect it to be on that level, but I would expect it higher than what we are receiving in this.
Yes. And there we have the Nardo Gray of sorts Bolt next to us. That's actually a pretty nice looking car for what it is. I know that's a very controversial opinion. I'm sure Kalie even disagrees with me.
That the Bolt's ugly, or that the color's ugly?
That Bolt looks pretty okay.
Yes, it looks pretty okay for a Bolt.
Okay.
I would not own it, but...
I don't know if this is going on the right direction. This is completely different than we've gone on the previous drives.
Well, and also keep in mind, we have 34%, so don't drive too far. Like, if you messed up that badly, we might just have to go back.
Yeah, that's definitely not right.
Why are you taking us to Los Angeles? I don't want to go to LA.
I have no idea. What did I do?
No, thank you. Taking us straight into traffic.
Oops. Will you send it to Newcomb's Ranch, please? Alright, so we'll just drive along here. Let's try out Blue Cruise again. Maybe.
I'm like, why am I so chilly? Because it's 60 degrees in here.
Oh, sorry, that was not my doing. And
no, I know.
And we're on Blue Cruise. Oh, and we're up to 58 miles estimated range now. That went up real fast.
What do you mean that went up? That went down. We were at 68.
Oh, we were?
Yeah.
I thought it was at 38. Isn't that what you said?
You were at 31 miles to the or maybe it was 38 miles to the destination.
Oh,
you had 68 miles of range.
Okay, maybe I misheard
you. And like 30-something% of charge.
Okay, well we're close to Angeles Crest, so we don't need to drive too far up it.
Yeah, just drive a little bit hard for a little bit of while, and then
see how it does. It'll thermal throttle.
You'll know pretty quick, and I'm sure it will thermal throttle.
If you want to hear a little bit more about thermal throttling and why that's a thing on this car, definitely check out my non-performance edition review. I talk about that a fair amount. But basically the thermal management on this car is not amazing. It's probably fine for most people, but not up for performance driving.
It'll be interesting to see how this does, because this one has performance in the name, so hopefully it's at least a bit better.
No, this one, from what I've heard, is worse because it has more power.
Good.
So this, like I mentioned in the intro, this car has the same amount of horsepower, but it has more torque only from the front motor. Ugh. That was brutal.
Yeah, not comfy cozy. I felt so comfy cozy. That last car was so comfy cozy.
These seats, I do like these seats though. The shoulder thing, like I said, is a little weird.
Yeah.
But overall, the seat is pretty good. Like
these seats will be really comfortable to the right specification person. Like to the person that fits snugly in this seat, it is perfect. To anyone else, it's just like, it's either annoying or just like eh.
But you gotta sit in them. Like, don't buy this car unless you've sat in it. Because Can you even sit in these? Like, you can't really find them. You'd have to find the owner, probably.
Yeah.
But the seats could very well be a make or break for you, depending on your size. I mean, you're sitting in the seat every time you drive the car, so
if these
it has to be good. It's not good.
I mean, unless you're driving like 3 miles a day.
Then it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter.
Ooh, nice Miata RF.
These are definitely a really good seat for some people and a really bad seat for others.
I mean, that can be said. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hot damn, that GT3 RS.
That can be said for a lot of seats. You never finished that sentence.
A lot of
you got distracted.
No, but I think seats are pretty hit or miss when they're performance seats because they're trying to be tight fitting. But that doesn't work for everyone unless they're like 16-way adjustable seats.
Yeah.
So we'll get up here a little bit and then I'll start pushing it once it goes down to 1 lane. But we don't have full power, but that's due to state of charge. But it should be interesting to see if it thermal throttles, because on electric cars, as your battery state of charge goes down, your voltage also goes down, and to maintain the same amount of power, you have to increase the current draw, or amps, and as a result, that creates more heat, because the higher the current, the more heat is generated, I squared R. And we're getting a low battery warning at 26%.
You pressed on that acceleration and the car was like, nope, you're not going anywhere more than a mile.
I must say this does actually feel quite a bit better. I'm actually kind of impressed. Like, wow, that turned in nice.
Yeah, it definitely feels better performance driving wise. It was awful on the highway though.
The suspension transforms this car.
Yeah.
I would not buy this without the Performance Edition pack.
A little slower, bud.
And we're thermal throttling hard.
Yikes. What did it make? Like 2 miles? Not even?
Oh, that was probably a mile.
Oh, yikes.
So I don't know if you can see that, but we're at about half power now.
Oh my god. Careful, the fire station, the road trucks.
Like, this is floored, and it's slow. But again, the handling's actually pretty good in this versus, especially compared to the regular GT.
Yeah. This definitely feels better up here than the one we drove last night, but Branden.
Well, I wanted to push it a little bit where I had a lot of space.
I guess.
Really bad thermal throttling.
Just like that, we're down to 22%.
Yeah.
And we were at like 30, right? Or like probably like 28, 28.
Somewhere around there.
But we've gone 3 miles. Maybe 4.
Yeah. Let's see how quick this
I mean, that's kind of normal. I mean, it'll be fine on the way down, but like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect great efficiency. I was flooring it, but you're also reducing the amount of power being used when you thermal throttle.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely the best Mach-E we've driven.
But that's a low bar.
Yeah. But I still wouldn't buy it because like it's overpriced.
I would not. I would not buy this car because one, it's overpriced in my opinion. Two, it does not live up to Mustang Performance Edition GT name.
Yeah.
It's completely unacceptable for a Mustang GT to thermal throttle like this. It does not deserve the name.
Yeah.
If you can't hustle it through a mountain road and not have thermal issues in less than 5 minutes, we have a problem.
That's not a performance vehicle.
No, and like, if it wasn't set up with the naming that it's a performance vehicle, ooh, I3 on Angeles Crest, then it would be fine.
Yeah.
Because your expectations would be for an everyday car, not based on Mustang GT heritage.
Yeah.
It is recovering thermal-wise. We're now down to only like 2 dashes at the end, but I think that's due to state of charge more than thermals. Let's see if this Ultima, I think it is, maybe Maxima, I don't know. I'm terrible with Nissan's products.
Can we turn around soon though?
Oh, I just want to see it. Oh, sweet. I just want to rip it a little bit more after this to see if it re-thermal throttles again.
I mean, I'm sure it will.
But I want to see how quick. Bottle with the pressure change.
Oh, okay.
I can literally watch the power gauge go down. And that was the 5-second cut as well there. You could see it probably just from the speedo gauge. Brakes are good.
Brakes work. Branden.
What?
This is my least favorite curve up here. I think it was that one.
So slow. That was quite the wrap on M3 or M4.
Alright, we should start heading back. You have 19%.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I like the car, kind of, I guess.
I like the car if it was like 50 grand.
And if it had thermals that could actually handle performance driving.
Yes, drop the performance and make this like the normal Mustang Mach-E.
Put this suspension on the normal Mustang Mach-E.
And this would be
and you've got a solution.
And the same price as the normal Mustang Mach-E. This would be great. But it's not a performance vehicle, and with the combination of the GT badge and the performance in the name, like, I would just expect a little bit more, especially for the price.
Yeah, like, yep, what she said. See you guys next time. Like and subscribe. You know the drill. If you have questions, let me know. If you want to see something else, again, let me know. Bye, guys.
Bye.